A new benchmark for the bench. Justice Tanko's last tango sees him giving up the gavel as Justice Ariwola picks it up in a flat cap to cap up a day of change in the helmsman's seat in the judiciary. Osun governorship election draws ever nearer. Who is attempting to spring surprises in the state of the living spring? Meanwhile, the election management body is taking eagle-eyed officials to that state. In party politics, who is stoking Abuja's anger? Governor Soludo urged to intervene in the imbroglio, threatening to spill over before the cock crows. Also, a political update today, politics and governance, navigating through the labyrinth of expectations. We have these and more today. I'm Fisayo Ogunfui. Welcome. Justice Olukayode Ariwola has been formally sworn in as the acting Chief Justice of Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari performed the ceremony while following the voluntary resignation of Justice Ibrahim Tanko on health grounds.
I, Ariwola Olukayode, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Born in 1958, Justice Olukayode Ariwola was elevated to the bench of the Supreme Court of Nigeria in 2011 before joining the nation's apex court and becoming the most senior justice. Justice Ariwola served as Justice of the Court of Appeal in Kaduna, Enugu, and Lagos divisions.
This occasion is an opportune time for me to, as always, assure the Nigerian judiciary that this administration is committed to ensuring the independence of the judiciary and will not do anything, nor take any steps to undermine your independence. Our nation is approaching a critical general election in 2023. The judiciary must not do anything to fail the ordinary people of Nigeria, which will make them lose confidence in the judiciary.
The president, who confirmed to have received Justice Tanko Muhammad's resignation with mixed feelings, said history will be kind to him for his modest contributions to Nigeria's judiciary, democracy, and national development. He said under the leadership of Justice Tanko Muhammad, Nigeria's judiciary exercised its judicial powers of the Federation judiciously.
I hereby bestow on him the national honor GCON.
The acting Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Olukayode Ariwola, promised to live above board in discharging his responsibilities.
What Nigerians expect from me is to comply, preserve and abide and protect the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And so be it.
Now to election matters. The Osun State governorship election is in less than 3 weeks. The election management body, INEC, is giving its electoral officers key information in its pre-election technical workshop to ensure a hitch-free exercise.
Following the successes recorded at the Ekiti governorship election, all attention is now shifted to Osun State for July 16 governorship election gradually approaching. The workshop, which is part of the pre-election activities for electoral officers, assistant electoral officers and management of INEC in Osun, is to fine-tune last-minute plans for the governorship election.
We can improve as we plan ahead. Our ultimate goal is how to surpass the achievement recorded in the Ekiti governorship election.
The National Commissioner supervising Osun, Professor Kunle Ajayi, is optimistic that the training of electoral officers on the use of bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, will be a game changer in Osun election.
With BVAS, nobody can rig election again. It's not possible with that election. So we must teach our staff how to manage it, how to use it.
The EOs are expected to bring up policies, because they are at the field and we want to have their own, view of things.
15 candidates will be jostling for votes from the 3,763 polling units across the 30 local government areas of the state.
Okay, the election season has since commenced with campaigns and the jostling for party positions followed by the Ekiti governorship election. Osun State governorship election is a few weeks away, after which the frenzy for the 2023 general election will be upon us. But there's a question of ensuring that the people continue to receive the best possible from governments at all levels. Honorable Abdulrazak Namdez is the member representing Jada, Ganye, Mayobelwa, and Tongo Federal Constituency of Adamawa State. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
You are also the chairman House Committee on Army.
I am. Thank you so much.
Were you able to muster enough force, being the chairman Committee on Army, to, get people on your side? Because, the last experience looked at, especially a keenly contested one in your state. What was the experience like? At the end of the day, a woman won.
Yes, I think what happened was it was a very keenly contested election. But I can tell you that the elections was free and fair, as far as I'm concerned, because I was part of the elections. But in any election, there must be a winner, there must be a loser. And at the end, Senator Binani emerged a winner, a woman. She defeated us. And I agree that I'm defeated. A woman defeated me, so I have to move forward. This issue of when you lose an election, you try to bring some sort of explanation that no, I was rigged out because what happened, I was not treated well. Look, I lost election, and I've agreed, and I'm ready to work. I am with the person that won the election. I have never changed party in my life, and I will never. I am not contemplating doing one. So I will remain in APC. We work for whoever emerges. I work for my party, both at the national and at the state level. So I think it was okay.
Let me commend Adamawa people, and a lot of people, even I can hear even backstage, commending your, acceptance of the process. Let's also look at Adamawa people. You seem so sophisticated politically. Senator Grace Bent, who married into your state, represented our constituency at the Senate level. Senator Binta Masi Garba, a woman, also represented a state at a point. Now, again, you have put forward a woman. What are the dynamics in Adamawa that makes your politics so rich, robust, and interesting?
The truth is that all these people that you have mentioned, they did very well. Even in the Senate, Grace Bent did excellently as a woman, and as also a senator during her time. The same thing happened to Senator Binta Masigarwa. She has excelled. She was even at one point as chairman of the party in Adamawa. So she did well, and she has served both in Kaduna and also in Adamawa as member House of Reps. And when you talk to about Senator Binani, whether you like her face, you don't like her face, she has been doing quite well. Some of us that contested along with her were hoping that given the environment she comes from, or we all come from, a woman will not make it as a governorship candidate. We were relying on her, and she stood her ground. She said, look, I will be the first woman to get the ticket, and she got the ticket. The thing is that she really worked on women. 70% of the votes that Binani got was from women. I'm not saying men didn't vote for her, but I think she outplayed us very well, because even before the primaries, she had gathered all the women together and spoke to them, pleaded with them that, look, I am a woman, please, we've been helping men, can you give me the chance to do so? And in a state where each of the zones has already produced one senator as a woman, Grace was in the south, Binani was in the north, herself in the central. So you have seen all the zones in the state have tested a woman as a senator, and all of them, nobody has paid second class. So when the results came in, we were shocked. So if you are prepared to win an election and they think go the other way, given the circumstances she has matched, by the time you are trying to, I don't want to go back on my words, I think we should just, and also some of us during the campaign have already stated that, look, whoever that wins, even if it was Nuhu Ribado, if it was Bindo, whoever that won, or myself, we are going to work for that person, because this is a primary that is within the same family. We should not be extending the relationship as if we are working with another party. So when she won, I have an obligation that, look, I have to work.
We didn't see the process. A lot of people want to, ask when the results were read out. Former presidential aspirant, a former governor, yourself, and then a woman gallantly went to the platform. Were there women there to congratulate her, or you are still trying to recount the votes?
There was no recounting. This vote took place in front of us, and our agents were there. And the number is manageable, is 1,132 delegates, so that you can count. Nobody did anything wrong. So I think let's just accept defeat. The problem with politicians is that when you lose, you manufacture stories to suit your ego. But for me, I think I've won election before now. I was also a deputy governorship candidate 11 years ago. We lost an election, and I was even the one telling people that don't worry. And I've come to the National Assembly on 2 occasions. So I think when you have the experience of losing and the experience of winning. So today, if you don't win, I think let us be fair to...
All right, let's move on. Let's move on now. We've seen the process. Intra-party, state elections in Ekiti are going to issue soon. It seems to me, especially at state level, that the business of state has a bit stalled a bit. Every focus now is on the election and the general election next year. How do we manage this kind of years that precede general elections and some off-season elections coming in as well? It seems to me as if everybody now, all the momentum is on who is coming in, while the government is sitting and still has the ability to do many things before the expiration of the tenure.
You see, this is why I like the Electoral Act as was passed by us, although we have some of the things challenges that's associated with the act. But at least this time around, for now, I've lost an election. But I have lost an election at the time that I still have 1 year to end my tenure. So, for those who have won and those that have lost, we should sit down and concentrate on governance. In those days, you will be doing this primary election in October and then spill over to January before you realize you go to court and before you realize it's general election. So you will be having issues all the time. But I think this electoral has given us the opportunity. If you agree, challenge it in court. But I also want to agree with you that most of the times, not just season, anytime there's an election around the corner, you will see people concentrating on election matters and their governance. Even in the governance itself, attention is paid to how we are going to deploy X and Y to meet up with this, meet up with that. Now, as a chairman of House Committee on Army, I fairly know the security sector of the country. And I wish that, look, let us use our security. Politicians should not be distracting the attention of security personnel in going to attend to election matters. You understand? Let's allow them to have a lot of insecurity issues before us. So I think it's a normal thing, but I think we are in government and the president is in charge and he's doing a good job. We will be able to support that.
All right, we'll come back to other issues with Honorable Abdulrazak Anambas. But for now, the founding national chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, ABGA, Chekwaso Okorie, has urged Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo to intervene in the party's leadership crisis. Chekwaso Okorie says the latest round of internal wrangling in the party can be amicably resolved with genuine commitment of loyal party members.
ABGA is one of the 2 oldest surviving political parties in Nigeria, along with the PDP, but has suffered a debilitating stunted growth due to the unprecedented prolonged leadership crisis. Since the tenure of Professor Chukwuma Soludo is secure, having taken the oath of office as the governor of Anambra State on the 17th of March 2022, and therefore protected by the relevant provisions of the 1999 Constitution as amended, I urge him to intervene at this critical moment to save ABGA from imminent peril.
All right, ABGA, the people quarreling, the cock is crowing for amicable resolution. Now, the People's Democratic Party has asked former President Olusegun Obasanjo to clarify his recent statement over the choice of his running mate in 1999 and 2003 presidential elections. The party described the statement credited to the former president as surprising and a disservice to it. Chairman, Board of Trustees of the party, Senator Walid Jibrin, said the party demands a retraction from the former president.
The position of the party is coming 24 hours after the former president made the statement Addressing newsmen, the chairman board of trustees, Senator Walid Jibril, said PDP holds Obasanjo in high esteem as the former president of this country and a frontline member of the PDP.
I will also tell the whole world,
while expressing shock and surprise over the outrage credited to the former president against the party's presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, Senator Walid Jibril demanded retraction and apology from the former president Obasanjo.
it is therefore very important that we hear from Obasanjo openly.
He said the party will continue to dialogue with critical stakeholders in addressing thorny issues threatening its chances in the forthcoming general elections.
It is impossible to have you here and not ask you about, issues of security. Having at least, rub minds with those, driving the sector and trying to make sure that the country is secure, both from external forces and even in terms of domestic crisis as well. We have a general election in another year. And even when you talk of polling units and all that, there are some places designated where people should vote, but people have run away simply because of insecurity. Between now and then, what should be, the sector be doing to make sure that when the time comes, especially when we'll be stretched thin in terms of our, security personnel, that we will be able to stand strong, organize our elections, and come out smelling of rusts?
I think the good thing is that I have worked with security agencies. I've told you, even being chairman committee of army, I'm also a member of police committee, and I know most of these security agencies or personnel, they have training specifically for election matters. They have told their men and personnel how to behave during election period. And we also know that the number of personnel, we can't be adequate no matter how. Nigeria is a very big country, over 200 million people. You can't just have just the police and the army. Whichever, if you put the numbers together, we may not get full coverage, because we still have to allow other people to look at the state of the nation. You can't deploy everybody to go and look at election issues, polling units. What if you have another challenge? Which men are you going to use again? So you can see. But the good thing is that Nigerians too are beginning to be aware that, look, we need this democracy to be sustained, and therefore do not cause unnecessary problems. And especially with our electoral act, that look, we will transmit results from a unit to what? Electronically, from the what to, it has eliminated some level of manual activities, where you find some agents, some people will just hijack ballot paper, run away with it before you get to the ward collection center to present your result. Today, before you even get to the work collection center, the result must have gotten to the center before your arrival, because it will have been delivered electronically. So I see that was some of the challenges that we needed a lot of security personnel to curtail. This will have also reduced to some extent. But we know that more importantly, there are joint operations going all over, and we are conversant, and the personnel are conversant of the challenge at hand. So they will know how to deploy their men. Now we also, as people that are contesting or want our people to win the election, we to have our boys around that, look, don't cause trouble, because we have to be in government and we have to make sure that this election takes place peacefully, or else you make this entire votes go crash down and you can lead somebody to lose an election.
And the cycle in Nigeria is peculiar. I don't know whether you discuss it, the political elite, amongst yourself. You reserve some money for intra-party politics for you to get your nomination. You reserve some money for campaigns. You reserve some money for towards election day to motivate, your supporters. And then after election, you reserve some money for the senior advocates again for litigation. How do we break this chain from the party to the podium, from the podium to the courts?
Well, you see, most of these resources are logistical in nature. It's not as if you pull some millions or billions of money and you keep the look. This is for pre-election, this is for post-election and things like that. No, most of these things are logistical in nature. People get excited getting involved in politics. You come down to my word, there are people that you can't do without them. So on their own, they avail themselves. But you have to know that sometimes you have to move people by transport from one location to other. You've just mentioned one, that a polling unit can be having an issue here. So they have to transport people. So it's logistics in nature. Issue of court are still logistical. If you go to court, it depends on the kind of lawyer you will get at your hand. I will buy my court according to my...
and somebody have said that this season has been for delegates and lawyers.
Well, delegates are part of it.